For over 50 years, one question has haunted investigators, journalists, and the public alike: who was the Zodiac Killer? The infamous serial killer terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s, leaving behind cryptic letters, ciphers, and taunting messages. Despite endless investigations, the killer's identity remained a chilling mystery, until now. In 2025, something extraordinary happened. Could the Zodiac Killer finally be unmasked? Stay with me as we explore the latest evidence that might reveal the truth and expose the identity of the Zodiac Killer once and for all. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror began on December 20, 1968, when Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were shot and killed near Vallejo, California. This was the beginning of a series of brutal murders, with the killer targeting young couples in isolated areas. Just 7 months later, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were attacked on Blue Rock Springs Road. Michael Mageau survived the assault, but Darlene tragically died from her injuries. But the Zodiac's killing spree didn't stop there. In 1969, he struck again, this time, a couple enjoying a day at Lake Berryessa. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Ann Shepard were approached by a man wearing a hooded costume, who tied them up before brutally stabbing them. But what made this crime even more chilling was what he did afterward. He scrawled a message on Hartnell's car door: the Zodiac. With that, the killer was publicly claiming his identity in a chilling twist. The Zodiac wasn't just about murder, he wanted to be known. He sent a series of taunting letters to the newspapers, the first arriving in July 1969. These letters contained codes and ciphers, demanding that they be printed. In these letters, the Zodiac expressed his thrill at evading the police and dared them to catch him. One of the most infamous ciphers, the Z340, remained unsolved for decades, leaving investigators and cryptographers scrambling for answers. Then, in 2025, a breakthrough occurred that could change everything. A team of cold case detectives, using the same groundbreaking genealogical DNA techniques that led to the capture of the Golden State Killer, revisited the Zodiac case. DNA evidence collected from crime scenes and letters was analyzed and cross-referenced with genealogical databases. What they discovered was nothing short of astonishing. Using DNA from one of the crime scenes, investigators were able to trace it to a distant relative through a public genealogy database. This led them to a man who had been living under the radar for decades, someone whose name had never even been considered by investigators. This person is now in his late 70s, and authorities are keeping his identity under wraps. But this new evidence has reignited hope that the Zodiac Killer might finally be brought to justice. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the investigation. Could the killer have been living so close to the case for all these years? The new suspect, whose name remains undisclosed, had never appeared on the police radar during the original investigation. However, new evidence has connected him to the Zodiac's crimes in disturbing ways. Reports suggest that he was living near the crime scenes during the time of the killings and had a history of violent behavior. What's even more chilling is that investigators discovered that this man had kept a scrapbook filled with newspaper articles about the Zodiac murders. Authorities also discovered that this suspect had an intense interest in codes and ciphers, something that closely mirrors the Zodiac's obsession with cryptic messages. Could this man, who lived so close to the Zodiac's known activity, be the very killer the world has been searching for? The connection between this new suspect and the Zodiac's known behavior is chilling. The man's violent history, obsession with ciphers, and proximity to the crime scenes all point toward a terrifying possibility. That the Zodiac Killer was hiding in plain sight for decades. But there are still many questions. Some experts are convinced that this new suspect is the Zodiac Killer, while others remain skeptical. For years, the primary suspect in the Zodiac case was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester with an obsession for codes. Despite circumstantial evidence, authorities were never able to link him directly to the killings. Now, with this new suspect on the table, the question arises: is the Zodiac Killer still out there, or is this man finally the one responsible for the decades-long mystery? The Zodiac Killer's ability to remain hidden for so long has been one of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. Could this new suspect really be the man who eluded police for so many years? Or is there still more to the story? Some believe that the Zodiac was a master of deception, and that even this new suspect may be a red herring. Others argue that the Zodiac's reign of terror was not just about the murders, but about the fear and attention he craved. If this new suspect is truly the Zodiac Killer, what does that mean for the other unsolved cases? As we stand on the cusp of potentially solving one of the most notorious cold cases in history, it's clear that there's still so much we don't know. This new DNA breakthrough is the closest we've come to identifying the Zodiac Killer in over 50 years. But until authorities confirm the suspect's identity, the question remains, who was the Zodiac Killer? Could this new suspect really be the Zodiac Killer? Or is there still more to this story? We want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this new development? Could the Zodiac Killer have been hiding in plain sight for all these years? Let us know your theories in the comments below, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this case and others like it. The truth may be closer than we think, but it's still out there. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious. Because the truth is often stranger than fiction.